Hello and welcome to another wonderful session with one of our top speakers at the Global Virtual Expo. We have with us Ildikó Szabó. She is a global connector and empowerment advocate. Ildikó shows us how to sell yourself in 3 seconds because that's all you got. You really need to work on that one. Ildikó, you have the floor.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here, Sigrid. This is a beautiful opportunity to share how to sell yourself in 3 seconds because that's all you got. So, I'm talking about the strategy and the energy which is plugged into you, which is totally custom. Because we all come with a different uniqueness, different gifts, talents, energy, and you get to be you. You get to be the real, authentic you, and that is the most effortless energy. That is the sale. This is how you do it. And we do intend to copycat. I did that myself. I have tried on all the possible strategies out there, and none of them worked because they were not my true aligned strategy. That was the problem. So, what I'm here to teach is the mystical knowledge. We all bring things to the table which is coded in our soul. I work with Kabbalah, human design, astrology, and gene keys. And we all come to this life that we are here to learn something, to claim something. And once you really understand what that thing is, some of us come as a leader but never lead. We really get to step into that full power, into that full potential. And of course, we get to understand our leadership blind spots. We all have that, just like me. And we get to put a beautiful red ribbon on the top so that when people see us, they cannot wait to hear what we get to say. Do you have any more questions, Sigrid? This is an interview.
Oh, this is an interview. I was waiting
Yes.
for you to give us secrets around the how to sell yourself in 3 seconds. Well, of course, I have questions, Ildikó. So, how did you discover how important it is to sell yourself in 3 seconds? Were you sitting at the back of the room all the time and nobody noticed you? And then you came up with your fortunate opportunity of being different to stand out? Tell us about that.
I was extremely surprised when I walked into high-end hotels because I didn't spend long time there. So I said, okay, I just booked a standard room. And the lady at the reception looked at me and she said, this is your lucky day. She was smiling. Let me upgrade you for free. Would you like a glass of champagne as well? And I went like, oh, is this possible? And then I really started flirting with the universe because it is possible. This is all possible. We just get to grab it. So when you really get on that frequency, because many times we don't even see these things. So I tell you an example how I train myself to do this. I'm a solo traveler of 35 years and I get to have a lot of dinners alone. Let's put it that way. At the beginning, I felt really uncomfortable walking into any hotel alone as a solo woman. So, of course, they gave me a corner table away, like, what is she gonna have? Like a salad? And then I started upgrading the whole thing. So I picked my table. So I actually walked to that table that I would like to sit here. And I didn't pick the smallest table, and I picked one table in the middle. And I was wondering, are they going to let me do this? It didn't work all the time. I still tried. And on the top of all that, I always ordered something what was not on the menu. I'm not saying I got it. So, for example, they had let's go with the chicken and rice, but I said, How about chicken, like half rice and half salad? It didn't always work, or French fries, whatever. But the point is, we get to ask for those things that are not available on the moment, not on the menu, not in front of us, and let's see how the universe responds to that. And I was extremely surprised, and I just kept going. So back in the day, I was in Panama City, Panama, and I did hotel hopping. So I stayed for 2, 3 days at a hotel, and then I went to the next one because I always wanted to get uncomfortable. I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to see what's available. So once I asked for a late checkout, I went down to the reception and I got it for free. Anything is possible. It is really the matter of the conversation in that moment, who is at the front desk, and how you communicate. Are you coming in open with a big smile, with your energy? Like, I am a bubbly, flirty person, but this is not everybody's thing. Just like the red lipstick doesn't look good on everybody. So
Yeah,
that's the point. We get to
absolutely.
be ourselves.
Absolutely. So you've just said something really important. I think a lot of people, women particularly, we would really question you on this one. Let's get uncomfortable. You said when you got uncomfortable, you moved on. So we get uncomfortable. I know this from a lot of times speaking to women, especially women in business, of course. Oh, this feels uncomfortable. No, it is uncomfortable to do this or to ask this. How do we get to be comfortable, Ildiko? What's your tip there? What would you say to somebody who's feeling uncomfortable? Is it just do it or is it mind work? What would you say would be a tip to move out of being uncomfortable or doing it despite being uncomfortable?
Well, first of all, thank you for this question. It's actually a very important question. Only those women start talking about this who would like to or who desire to experience different results, right? And they already got to that point. If I keep on doing the same thing, I'm going to get the same results. But many people don't know. So, how do you start with all this? So, you drive on a different route, you go to a different cafe, you talk to a stranger, like all the things you would not do. Even, okay, I'll give you another example. So this winter I was in Costa Rica, and of course, I'm stretching myself and doing something new every day I didn't do before. And I said, okay, let's go. A picture with strangers. So I said, I'm going to walk up to a stranger every day and ask for a selfie. To men, because that's even harder, right? And I didn't get yeses all the time. I got no's as well. But the point is that we dare to do that. And there was a moment, there were like 5 beach boys. They were in their mid-30s. They were playing on the beach. And I said, wow, these are the best guys tonight, so I gotta do that. And I felt really uncomfortable because I didn't know if the girlfriends or the wives were sitting there. And I actually went there. I said, I'm doing this challenge for myself. Would you be open to have a selfie? And then I needed to find another one who actually took our picture because we did many pictures. And the guys told us, we are so happy you did this because we didn't even know each other. And now we have a group photo and we exchange the photos. So the point is, people are really open. We just think that in our mind that they are not.
So it's making assumptions that we really have to let go of and feeling uncomfortable stepping right into it. It's like, the door opens, the room is dark, but if we step into it, the light comes, the light just switches on. I've got lights like that around my house at nighttime, so I don't have to switch on and off. I walk around and all the lights come on because that's just automatic. That's what you're really saying, or what I'm hearing you're saying. Uncomfortable or not, step into it and you don't know what will happen. People are happy to participate if it is about people. You can experience something really wonderful and exciting to meet somebody new. Is this connected because you have traveled so much? Is that one of the reasons that you are challenging yourself so much in this to become more and more comfortable and confident in doing this? Does it have to do with traveling, Ildiko?
Yes, it does have to do with traveling, but it does have to do with my personality as well. Because from a very early age, I became extremely curious. I kept on learning. I'm still learning. I'm still going from one course to the next one because it's interesting. I suck up knowledge and I can use it and I love it. So this is me. And you have that, everybody has that one thing. And one thing about the connection, because like we are really afraid. So a genuine connection can start with a heart to heart compliment. I compliment women like, oh my God, I love those shoes. Where did you get them? And I sometimes ask, sometimes we see a shoe, a bag, whatever, or even just a smile. Somebody has this magnetic smile. And I think it's beautiful just to mirror back because people are not aware of their gifts. And
Sorry, I like that idea of complimenting the other person on something. That kind of breaks the ice, doesn't it? It kind of allows you to come across as genuine when you're doing that genuinely. And I think we can compliment most people on something that we see there. That's really good. Is it down to a person's personality? We often talk about that, what sort of a person you are, as to whether you challenge yourself or you just go from uncomfortable to doing it. Is it down to that, or can we overcome it if we are a really shy personality?
we can overcome anything because the sky is not even the limit. And we get to go to that stage because it's a step by step. Sometimes we take an end step, other times we jump. It's really, we have those days. Sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's not. It's really moving the needle, tweaking all the way too, so that we really get to that stage where we feel extremely empowered, magnetic. Because what we are here to do, we are here to share our gifts, putting it into the collective, and somebody else takes that. So this is that beautiful oneness. Like the summit you are doing, Sigrid, like it's a global thing. We are here from so many parts of the world, and because of you and because of this event, we get to connect here. And we don't know yet what kind of collaborations, friendships, or anything comes out of this, right?
That is so true. That is so true. So I'm getting from what you're sharing that if we put expectation of something fantastic into our being uncomfortable in the moment, but we expect something wonderful to happen because we just step into it, then that can certainly happen. And is it a little bit like doing it again and again and again that we get more comfortable? Is that something that you've experienced, or is it just your personality steps out there anyway?
We get to dig this all the way. So it's like once you have your coffee with milk, then you have it with honey, then you have it with cinnamon, and you go through the whole list and see how it feels. Because how would we know how it feels when we haven't experienced it?
I like that. I do that with food. Whenever I've traveled in the past, in any new country, I've tried whatever their national dish was, whether I liked the sound of it or not. So that's something I have certainly been uncomfortable about not knowing what it is, what it tastes like, but I've done it anyway. And it has given me wonderful experiences of something new that I can now still incorporate in my menus over my week, whether I make it myself or I go and find it somewhere. So really, you're saying uncomfortable, step into it, and then you develop more and more this power that we all have in us. Because you talked at the beginning about stepping up to the reception, for example, and they took that power immediately in and knew to serve you in a certain way. This power that we have is invisible, but it becomes visible when we step into it. Explain a bit more around that, how you see that, Ildiko.
Okay, I want one more thing, Pop. Look at it as a thing that life is a buffet table, which is full of everything. Pizza, sausage, oysters, caviar, there's everything on it. And it's you get to taste whatever you desire. And what you like, you're gonna have more of, and what you don't like, you just leave it on the table. And this is how I look at everything. So it's like keep on tweaking, keep on twisting. Yeah, it's not always a good experience, I admit it. I mean, come on. It's life, right?
Yes, for sure. Yes.
But this is we get to try, because if we are not doing this, we are in the same circle all of our lives, getting the same results, meeting the same people, looking at the same TV shows, and we never know what's happening outside.
It just really comes to my mind as you are speaking here and sharing this information, these details from your experience. It really comes to me that selling ourselves, getting to this point of being empowered and stepping out into the uncomfortable is about we have it built in, and the more we make use of it, the more we experience it and feel good about it. We get whatever you want to call it, comfortable, empowered, powerful. All of those things come to it, but we do need to take the initial initiative. We've got to go out and do it. Otherwise, we are just in the same, and have no reason to complain because we're not taking that action. That's what I'm hearing from you. So, the people that are really underconfident and shy, how do they make that first step? Is there some little thing that they can do to get started with? Like, just if they are not comfortable talking to anyone, the first thing could be to talk to the postman or something like that. Is there like a little step that they could start with?
Exactly. It is all within. I didn't know that either. I physically traveled the world because I thought I needed to do that to find my answers. But the truth is, we all know what's coded in us, what we love, what we are passionate for. And that is the first step going towards that. Like, maybe you have been wanting to write a book for 30 years. Maybe you have been wanting to start to paint. Like for me, dancing keeps coming back into my life. And I'm not salsa dancing, I'm the hip hop girl. So I'm 50 now, and I just found another course here in Spain, and I'm going there. And I'm the oldest, and that's okay. But it's we get to follow that thing, because once we do that, we really step into that magnetic energy, who we are. And that is what people sense, that okay, she's authentic. Like, look at me, I am bold. So I have been judged a lot, like you're overdressing too much, whatever, you're too loud, you're too funny, you're too this. And I said, it's okay, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And we get to own it. I turned it off myself for a very long time because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked. I wanted people to connect with me. But those people were not my people,
Mm.
because my people vibe with me. So, for example, if I go to a networking event, in person events, not everybody wants to connect with me.
Are they holding back? Are they, Ildikó? Is that what you're
But
saying?
I see it. So I walk there. I don't go with too much energy. I'm polite, and I see who is vibing with me on that frequency, who is interested in me. And it's not, I've handed out cards, and I knew that she will never contact me.
So it
That
okay.
is okay.
It reminds me of really being aware of our own frequency, as you've just called it, our own vibe, how we feel, taking that, I call it that little voice inside, really taking that serious instead of dismissing it by saying, oh, it's a feeling, but I can't rely on feelings. I've got to use my logic. Is this logic? Should I move forward or not? It is listening
Exactly.
in a
I have
vibe.
another story just popped in. So
Yeah.
this is in Hungary. I was at a dental office and the girl walked in. And I felt it right away, like I got the download, give her a card. We said hello, hello, and I said, I'm going to give you a card. And she said, I knew you were gonna give me a card. And she became a long-term client. It can be so effortless when we are so intuitive, we are so in tune, and we dare to do that action, right? Because like not being like how do I give her a card? Just give her the freaking card. That's it. Smile from your heart. Not an, there is no explanation needed. And that is the authenticity. Let you dare to go there.
Well,
We
let me
all have a calling and we all know that. We are just thinking about, oh my God, like, is this really my calling? Do the thing. Like nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. I don't know.
Mm. That is so true. Ildiko, you are being really wonderfully frank with us, sharing your own, situations so openly. I want to do a quick recap on what you've shared because it's really got me to thinking about a lot of things. I've had a long stretch of life already at this point in time, and I do know what you're talking about, stepping into the uncomfortable. We can all do that, and that feeling that we are here for a purpose, for something that we really want to do, fulfill, put into the world. We all know that we have it, and it is sad when we're not stepping into it. So it's so important to reassure ourselves, yes, we're here for a purpose, and the purpose is sitting there in the background of our mind, our heart, wherever we are feeling it. Step into it and do it and take little steps. If that means to just go and talk to one person every day once, a person you are reasonably comfortable with, and then go from there and do more and more, you might end up like you traveling around the world, 35 countries in your life, and experience those different cultures and different ways of things. So what would be a summary tip or directive you'd have for us today in this interview with you around selling yourself in 3 seconds? Because what that is about is really stepping into our own power that we all have, but we're not always letting out. What would be something to guide us with, to direct us to?
Share something vulnerable about you with someone. Dare to have that conversation or ask a question, or because even like many people like, how are you? Oh, I'm good, how are you? And how about telling like, I have a bad day? Like being really authentic in that moment. Like, I'm having a difficult day because how is your day? Like, really dare to go there, like dropping that mask for a minute. And then later on, you can drop it for 2 minutes and 3 minutes. And really have connect with the heart. And another tip, sit in silence with yourself, because a lot of people cannot even go and sit with themselves. They need to have something busy, something around them, just to keep them occupied. And maybe ask yourself, how do I feel today? And also connecting with your body. I did this for many years. I put a timer on my clock every 2 to 3 hours, checking in with my body. What do you need, body? Do you want to walk, stretch, drink, whatever? Because our body is the wisdom and it is connected with how to sell yourself in 3 seconds, because it's your posture, it's your aura, how you take up space. Do you look people in the eye? Do you smile from your heart? Like these are millions of little things people pick up on. And once everything is aligned with your true self, then you really sell yourself in 3 seconds.
I love it. Absolutely fantastic. You've really given us a bit of a roadmap here with selling ourselves in 3 seconds. So it is about stepping out, even if we're uncomfortable. The world is there for us. We are here for the world, but we need to be visible. And that is up to us to make that happen, including to listen to ourselves in silence. Thank you so much, Ildiko, global connector and empowerment advocate, for sharing your insights with us at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Sigrid.